Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a great honor and a privilege to have you all here in honor of Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. Alhamdulillah, the program will be broken down into 3 parts. I'll just let the dust settle down. For those of you who do not know, Sheikh Nuru just walked in. Sheikh Nuru Mohammed, sorry. Salam Sheikh. So the program will be broken down into 3 parts. The first part would be recitations by myself, Brother Ali Raza Damani and Imran Datu. And then we will have a lecture by our esteemed guest, Sheikh Nuru Mohammed. And then the last half of the program will be recited by none other than Mullah Amar al-Nashid, Mullah Rashid Haidar, inshallah, Mullah Ali Fadil. And see, last time when I hosted, I forgot somebody's name. I'm trying to figure out, have I forgotten somebody's name? And the Tajani brothers, inshallah. But before we get the next, in fact, I'd like to start the next segment by reciting myself after Allah salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. So inshallah, I see a lot of Pakistani brothers here, so I'll be reciting in Urdu and then I'll be reciting in English. जो अली का नहीं वो किसी का नहीं जो अली का नहीं ओ वो किसी का नहीं जो अली का नहीं वो किसी का नहीं गैर मासूम सैयद हो या उम्मती गैर मासूम सैयद हो या उम्मती माने नहीं पड़ेगा उसे लाज़मी मुस्तफ़ा का कहा जो अली का नहीं वो किसी का नहीं ओ जो अली का नहीं वो किसी का नहीं जो कहेगा विलायत जरूरी नहीं उसकी कोई इबादत भी पूरी नहीं जो कहेगा विलायत जरूरी नहीं उसकी कोई इबादत भी पूरी नहीं ला इलाहा पढ़ के ऐसी बुराई ना कर तू अकीदे से मेरे लड़ाई ना कर ला इलाहा पढ़ के ऐसी बुराई ना कर तू अकीदे से मेरे लड़ाई ना कर यह है खुम की सदा जो अली का नहीं या अली वो किसी का नहीं जो कहेगा विलायत जरूरी नहीं उसकी कोई इबादत भी पूरी नहीं ला इलाहा पढ़ के ऐसी बुराई ना कर तो अकीदे से मेरे लड़ाई न कर है ये खुम की सदा जो अली का नहीं वो किसी का नहीं ओ जो अली का नहीं वो किसी का नहीं सल्लल्लाहु मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद. The next recitation will be in English. Unfortunately, I write for others, but I don't write for myself. So unfortunately, I don't have anything on Imam Ali for myself in English, apart from Ali Mawla, but there's a little surprise towards the end, so I'm not going to recite it now. But I've got something on Imam Hussein, if that's okay with you all, and I would like to recite it after allowed salawat on Muhammad or Ali Muhammad. The King of Heaven, O joy of the Prophet, my intercession, O Son of the Promised, the King of heaven, O joy of the Prophet, my intercession, O Son of the Promise, the angels attest, without you I'm nothing. I long for your grave, in your love I'm drowning. Hopeful to return, I'm praying, I'm wishing. For you I will serve, tears in my eyes crying. The ark of salvation, without we will perish. The one who stood lonely, now followed by many, running to his palace. Towards the golden dome, a streak of light is seen. The stairway to heaven, the angels descend, asking for their mercy. As they visit the holy grave of Hussein, praying to Allah, forgive them, forgive them. They are the Zawar of Hussein, the cherished, the King of heaven, O joy of the prophets. My intercession, O Son of the promised, the King of heaven, O joy of the prophet. My intercession, O Son of the promise, the angels attest, without you I'm nothing. I long for your grave, in your love I'm drowning. Hopeful to return, I'm praying, I'm wishing. For you I will serve, tears in my eyes crying. Sometimes I do ponder, what if I had two wings to fly around the dome, soaring around two kings, standing firm to protect, serving with Al-Abbas, even in death he will serve his masters, oh what? They come to his door asking for desires. Crawling on all fours, they are met with their needs. Babul Hawaij, Hawaij, Hawaij. To me, King first visit his love prince, the King of heaven, O joy of the prophet, my intercession, O Son of the promised, the King of heaven, O joy of the prophet, my intercession, O Son of the promised. The angels attest, without you I'm nothing. I long for your grave, in your love I'm drowning. Hopeful to return, I'm praying, I'm wishing. For you I will serve, tears in my eyes crying. Salawatullah Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. This program will be hosted by myself and Mullah Rashid Haidar. So, Rashid, I'd like to ask you to come up and announce the next guest, inshallah. After Allah, salawat Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. MashaAllah, I put him on the spot. Ahsantum Sayyid Nayar. So now, inshallah, our next reciter is someone who I came across not too long ago, but mashallah, he's been making a lot of noise. He has an amazing voice, and he's got a bright future to come. And that is Ali Raza Damani. So can we please welcome him with a loud salat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Yeah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Sheikh Nuru, Mullah Rashid, Sayyid Nayar, my elders, brothers and sisters, Salam alaikum and Kushali Mubarak to you all. It is truly an honor to be in your presence and to be reciting the dhikr of Mawla Ali alayhi salam. So a sincere thank you for inviting me. I wanted to ask, how does one write a simple ode to you, O Ali, There's so much to say, but you are victory. Victory for those who believe in your position, the successor of the Muhammad with only one mission: to safeguard the religion that will save our souls, living your entire life to achieve that goal. The perfect leader, husband and father of Hassanain, the hero in every combat, from Uhud to Hunain. Your eloquent speech has taught us many lessons. Your kindness and strength was guided by the heavens, a gate to knowledge that you left wide open, like that in Khaybar, in leaving watches unspoken. Born in the Kaaba and raised under Muhammad's wing, also known as Haydar, the true Lion King, also known as Haydar, the true Lion King. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. With your permission, I'll recite a short couplet in Urdu and a few short qasidas. But please, one request. When you're reciting your Nara Haydaris and your Haidars, please do them as loud as possible. Nare Haydari. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. شاہ نجف کے در کا میں ادنا فقیر ہوں، دنیا کو کیا خبر کہ میں کتنا امیر ہوں، کہ بچپن سے ماں نے اتنا سکھایا علی کا نام، کہ بچپن سے ماں نے اتنا سکھایا علی کا نام، مجھ کو لگا کہ میں بھی گواہ غدیر ہوں، دنیا کو کیا خبر کہ میں کتنا امیر ہوں. Yeah. So a brief translation of this is: at the royal door of your shrine in Najaf, I am a beggar. But the people of this world cannot understand how wealthy I actually am. Since I was a baby, my mother had taught me about you, O Ali. So much so that I felt I witnessed the event of Ghadir. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. مولائی او غدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا، مولائی او غدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. سب مل کے مولائی او غدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. O followers, never ever abandon the path of Ghadir. Abandon everything if you must, but never ever abandon the path of Ghadir. سب چھوڑ دینا ذکر، سب چھوڑ دینا ذکر، سب چھوڑ دینا ذکر، علی کا نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او غدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. سب مل کے مولائی او غدیر، مولائی او غدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. بھلے ایک روز دے گا یہ بولے ابو تراب بھلے ایک روز دے گا. یہ بولے ابو تراب میسم 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 تم اس درخت کو پیاسا نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او خدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او خدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. بغض سے علی کی آگ سے جلتے ہیں جن کے دل. بغض سے علی کی آگ سے جلتے ہیں جن کے دل. ذکر علی سے ان کو جلانا نہ چھوڑنا. یا علی مولائی او خدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. ہم کو یہ مائیں دیتی ہیں چولہے میں لوریاں. ہم کو یہ مائیں دیتی ہیں چولہے میں لوریاں. ماتم 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 نماز اور تبرہ نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او خدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. زہرا نے خواب میں ابو اسحاق سے کہا. This verse is about Mukhtar and the enemies. زہرا نے خواب میں ابو اسحاق سے کہا. قاتل حسین کا کوئی قاتل حسین کا کوئی زندہ نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او خدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او خدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. سب مل کے مولائی او خدیر. شیعہ ہو تم علی کے تو سجاد کی طرح. شیعہ ہو تم علی کے تو سجاد کی طرح. ماتم کے ساتھ ساتھ مصلی نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او خدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. سب چھوڑ دینا ذکر سب چھوڑ دینا ذکر علی کا نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او خدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. مولائی او خدیر کا رستہ نہ چھوڑنا. صلو علی محمد و آل محمد.
For the and well-being of Ali Raza, can we please have another last salawat on Muhammad and Ali Muhammad? MashaAllah, that was a very, very good recitation. You got a very bright future ahead of you. And so our next reciter is none other than Brother Imran Datu. Can we please give him a warm welcome with a last salawat on Muhammad and Ali Muhammad? Are you okay holding? Yes.
ایک درود پڑے گا محمد اور آل محمد پر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I know there's a very varied crowd today. We have Urdu speakers, we have English, Arabic, so inshallah I'll try my best, but the poetry is going to be in Urdu. But I'll try to communicate, translate a little bit here and there, inshallah. So firstly, I'd like to extend my congratulations to all of you. But first to the Imam of our time, Imam Zaman, Ajalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. On the celebration of the birth anniversary of his grandfather, Imam Ali alayhi salam, Salla ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. اور مجھے شکریہ ادا بھی کرنا چاہتا ہوں کہ تابش بھائی اور سید نیار جو مجھ جیسا گناہگار کو بلایا آپ کے سامنے نوکری کرنے کے لیے. دعا کرتے ہیں خدا اپنی بارگاہ میں ہماری سب کی اعمال و عبادت قبول فرمائے. شروع کروں گا 4 مصرے مولا علی علیہ السلام کی شان میں، لیکن امام زمانہ کو بھی ایک تحفہ دیتے ہوئے آپ سب کی اجازت ہے تو ایک بلند آواز سے بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. ہر مصرے پر توجہ انشاءاللہ، اور جو سمجھ میں آئے ضرور بولیے گا، نعرہ لگائے گا تو ایسے جشن منانا ہے انشاءاللہ. علی کے چاہنے والوں کے گھر خوشی دیکھیں، علی کے گھر، علی کے چاہنے والوں کے گھر خوشی دیکھیں، اور علی کے چاہنے والوں کے گھر خوشی دیکھیں. منافقین پہ چلتے ہوئے چھری دیکھیں. علی مولا، علی مولا یا علی. منافقین پہ چلتے ہوئے چھری دیکھیں، اور ظہور آج جو ہو جائے میرے قائم کا، ظہور آج جو ہو جائے میرے قائم کا، زمانہ کعبے میں ایک ساتھ دو علی دیکھیں. نعرہ حیدری. زمانہ کعبے میں ایک ساتھ دو علی دیکھیں، منافقین پہ چلتے ہوئے چھری دیکھیں. درود پڑھیے گا محمد علی محمد پر. سب کی توجہات ہے، جاگ رہے ہیں آپ. نعرہ حیدری. For those of you who don't know, hey up means, are you guys awake? Okay, let's hear it. Nara Haidari. Now we are awake. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Inshallah, آپ کے سامنے اور چند اشعار مولا علیہ السلام کی شان میں بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. کہ نہ آدم نہیں، نہ آدم نہیں، آدمی جانتا ہے، نہ آدم نہیں، آدمی جانتا ہے. علی کی حقیقت علی جانتا ہے. آپ سمجھے، جیے جیے. نادم نہیں آدمی جانتا ہے علی کی حقیقت علی جانتا ہے نادم نہیں آدمی جانتا ہے اور کہاں سے ہے آنا کہاں در بنے گا توجہ کہاں سے ہے آنا کہاں در بنے گا کہاں سے ہے آنا کہاں در بنے گا جو مالک ہے گھر کا وہی جانتا ہے Just to translate this, because this verse is phenomenal. It says that where is she going to come from? Where's the door in that door? Where's that door in the Kaaba? Where's it going to be made from? Yeah, only the owner of that house knows, and that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's how he made that crack. And Bi Fatima bint Asad walked in and produced and gave birth to Imam Ali alayhi salam. Nara Haidari کہ نادم نہیں آدمی جانتا ہے اور لہو پاک کس کا ہے ناپاک کس کا لہو پاک کس کا ہے ناپاک کس کا لہو پاک کس کا ہے ناپاک کس کا یہ سب نعرہ حیدری جانتا ہے علی مولا یا لہو پاک کس کا ہے ناپاک کس کا It says whose blood is pure and whose is not pure. Only Nara Haidari knows. لہو پاک کس کا ہے ناپاک کس کا لہو پاک کس کا ہے ناپاک کس کا یہ سب نعرہ حیدری جانتا ہے علی والا علی والا نادم نہیں آدمی جانتا ہے خاص توجہ اس شعر پر اتنا پسندیدہ اتنا خوبصورت شعر ہے یہ توجہ چاہتا ہوں کہ فرشتوں نے روکا جو جنت کے در پر The angel stopped me at the door of heaven فرشتوں نے روکا جو جنت کے در پر فرشتوں نے روکا جو جنت کے در پر میں کہہ دوں گا مجھ کو علی جانتا ہے علی مولا علی مولا علی مولا یا علی یا علی Says the angel stopped me at the door of heaven and I'm going to tell the angels Ali knows me, he's going to let me in. فرشتوں نے روکا جو جنت کے در پر فرشتوں نے روکا جو جنت کے در پر میں کہہ دوں گا مجھ کو علی جانتا ہے نادم نہیں آدمی جانتا ہے بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات ماشاءاللہ بہت اچھی طرح سے سن رہے ہیں you guys are listening with such attention and you Ali as well Ahsant. Inshallah just one final manqabat inshallah we can all recite together as well if I have your permission your loudest salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad Perfect. Okay, for this one, the children, I want you to look at me. I want you guys to shout the salawat, okay? All the children, your loudest salawat. I want you guys to beat the adults, okay? All of us together, inshallah. Salla ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. تاجدار ولایت تاجدار ولایت تاجدار ولایت تیرے عشق میں ہے تاجدار ولایت تیرے عشق میں ہے جو حلالی موالی اتر جائیں گے. تاجدار علی ماں تاجدار ولایت تیرے عشق میں جو حلالی موالی اتر جائیں گے. چشم حیرت سے دیکھے گا سورج انہیں وہ زمانے میں ایسے ابھر جائیں گے. تاجدار ولایت نعرہ حیدری. ہر مصرے پتہ ہو جو کہ آگ کی گرمی کیا آگ کی گرمی کیا تیغ کی کاٹ کیا آگ کی گرمی کیا تیغ کی کاٹ کیا ہم عزادار کیوں خوف کھائے بھلا. اے علی مولا آگ کی علی مولا کہ آگ کی گرمی کیا تیغ کی کاٹ کیا ہم عزادار کیوں خوف کھائیں بھلا. یا علی یا علی یا علی یا علی یا علی یا علی ہم تو پل سے یہ کہہ کر گزر جائیں گے. تاجدار ولایت تاجدار ولایت سب مل کے پڑھیے. تاجدار ولایت تاجدار ولایت تاجدار ولایت تاج کہ اس جہاں میں علی اس جہاں میں علی اس جہاں میں علی اس جہاں میں علی قبر میں بھی علی حشر میں بھی علی. شیخ صاحب ذرا سوچئے تو صحیح شیخ صاحب ذرا سوچئے تو صحیح آپ بچ کر علی سے کدھر جائیں گے. علی مولا علی مولا آپ بچ کر علی سے کدھر جائیں گے. تاجدار ولایت تاجدار ولایت مولا تک آواز پہنچنی چاہیے. تاجدار ولایت تاجدار ولایت. اور یوں کجاؤ کا منبر سجایا گیا. درود پڑھیے گا محمد علی محمد پر. کہ یوں کجاؤ کا منبر سجایا گیا. کجاؤ کیا ہوتا ہے مجھے ایکچولی نہیں پتا تھا تو میں شاعر سے بات کی. کجاؤ کیا ہوتا ہے وہ ہوتا ہے نا جو کیملز اور ہارس پر سیڈلز کا جو ممبر بنائے گا غدیر تک ذہن لے جائے انشاءاللہ. کہ یوں کجاؤ کا منبر سجایا گیا یوں کجاؤ کا منبر سجایا گیا اس پہ مولا علی کو بنایا گیا. نعرہ حیدری. کہ یوں کجاؤ کا منبر سجایا گیا اس پہ مولا علی کو بنایا گیا. ذکر حیدر جو سننا نہیں چاہتے بن کجاؤ کے کیسے وہ گھر جائیں گے. تاجدار ولایت تاجدار ولایت. اور وقت ختم ہوتا ہے بس مقطع کا سنانا چاہتا ہوں کہ اپنا قبلہ علی اپنا کعبہ علی اپنا قبلہ علی اپنا کعبہ علی اپنی منزل علی اپنا رہبر علی. ایر غیروں کو دیکھے حسن کس طرح ایر غیروں کو دیکھے حسن کس طرح ہے علی جس طرف ہم ادھر जाएंगे ताजदारे विलायत ताजदारे विलायत जज़ाकल्लाह बुलंद आवाज से नारा हैदरी 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 जिए पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलावत
أحسنتم أحسنتم Imran. Amazing, amazing. Can we have one more loud salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad? Inshallah, now we'd like to welcome on the legend, the living legend as we all know him, who joined us all the way from Birmingham, mashallah. Can we please welcome on Sheikh Nuru, Muhammad, sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. صل على محمد وآل أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. طب القلوب ودوائها ونور أبصارها وعلى أهل بيته الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. يقول الرسول الأكرم صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: علي مع القرآن والقرآن مع علي. First of all, we thank Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for gracing us with this wonderful moment to celebrate the birth anniversary of our beloved first Imam, Mawlai Kainat, Imam Amirul Mu'mineen, Salawatullahi wa Salamuhu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Felicitations, first and foremost, goes to the Imam of our time on this very beautiful occasion. And secondly, felicitations to each and every one of you, my dear brothers and sisters, lovers and followers of Ahlul Bayt, on this occasion of celebrating the arrival of the Imam of our time. Brothers and sisters, the tradition I've just quoted is a known tradition to all of us, where the Holy Prophet beautifully explained the profound estate or the great fadila of our beloved first Imam, where he said, Aliyun ma'al Quran wal Quranu ma'a Ali. Ali is with the Holy Quran and the Holy Quran is with Ali. Now, departing from this beautiful tradition of our beloved Prophet, what I would like to discuss tonight is to focus on some of the virtues of our beloved first Imam, what is known as the Fada'il or Manaqib of Amirul Mu'mineen. And I will do so in the following manners. Number one is to look at the fada'il of Imam Amirul Mu'mineen from different personalities. There are so many personalities out there, whether internal or external. Internal meaning Shias, external, those who are not Shias, meaning non-Shias, who spoke high of the fada'il of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam. And it is important we as lovers and the followers of Amirul Mu'mineen appreciate and recognize and allow those fada'il of our beloved first Imam manifest in our lives. Then second stage of the examination is to look at how the true lovers of Imam Amirul Mu'mineen demonstrated their love for Ali. And then the last stage of the examination is to take few lessons, practical lessons, from the wisdoms and the teachings of Maulai Kainat, so that when we go out of this place, we have something to think about, we have something to implement, we have something to discuss with our lovers or those who are so dear to us. You see, brothers and sisters, as we all know, without a shred of doubt, no one will be able to do due diligence to the personality or the fada'il of Amirul Mu'mineen. As the Holy Prophet makes it crystal clear in that famous tradition that, oh Ali, no one knows me better except Allah and you. And no one knows you, Ali, except Allah and I, Rasulullah. So therefore, we gather like tonight to discuss the personality of Imam Amir. It's just a drop in a big ocean. We only try in our level best to play our part towards the mission of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen. First stage of the examination. Kindly pay attention, my dear brothers and sisters. Tawajjuh farma. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Different scholars described Amirul Mu'mineen in their own way, in their own understanding of Amirul Mu'mineen. The first scholar I would like to refer my dear brothers and sisters to is a known scholar, Ibn Abil Hadid al-Mu'tazili. He has a commentary of Nahjul Balagha, arguably the most famous commentary of Nahjul Balagha. You know what he said about Amirul Mu'mineen is fascinating. He said, وَمَا أَقُولُ فِي رَجُلٍ أَقَرَّ لَهُ أَعْدَاءَهُ وَخُصُومَهُ. What do I say about a man whose lovers and followers talk high of him? Even the enemies of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam spoke high of Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam. So he's saying, what do I say when it comes to the personality of a man whose lovers and enemies spoke high of him? And as if you look at his work, he narrated 24 traditions in the fada'il of Imam Ali from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then you go to a second scholar. It's a Christian scholar by the name Shibli Shumaili. Christian scholar. He made his research on the personality of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And you know what was his conclusion? Inna aliyan nuskhatun munfarida. Or nuskhatun mufrida, according to one version. That indeed Ali is one unique personality. Ali is one unique page. The more you dig into the personality of Ali, the more you realize you know nothing about Ali. And that is why we can talk and talk and talk about Ali. You can recite all mankabat about Ali. you will never and ever reach the peak and the hakikat of the personality of Ali. And that's why Shibli Shumaili is talking about Aliyun Nuskhatun Mufrida. Ali is a unique page, it's a unique copy. Now, the third personality, you all know that personality. If you do not know this personality, then something is wrong about our love for Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam. It's also a non-Christian who's done unbelievable work in the personality of Amirul Mu'mineen. And that is George Jadiak, the Lebanese Christian who wrote a book by the name The Voice of Human Justice. But you know how he ended up writing that book? Who knows how he ended up writing that book? Can someone here tell me? How he ended up writing that book? You heard of the book before, isn't it? Sawtul Adalat al-Insaniya, The Voice of Human Justice. Christian. He said, I went around the world and I came across so many virtues. But when I look at Ali, I realize all those virtues I found out there are in Ali. Then he said, but on the other side, people have done injustice to the personality of Ali. And as a result of the injustice done to the personality of Ali, I decided to write a book to show the world that indeed Ali is not only for Muslims or Shias, Ali is for humanity. Yeah. But you know what is interesting? He finished writing the book and he had no money to print and publish the book. He went to Muslims and they refused to support him. Who supported him? Christians. So Ali is not a Muslim general, as scholars mention. Ali is a universal principle. And we all need Ali. So that is George Jadiak, the voice of human justice. The next scholar, Sheikh Safiyuddin Al-Hilli. Here, I seek your indulgence kindly, my dear brothers and sisters. Safiyuddin Al-Hilli. He said, when I examine the personality of Ali, I realized that Ali is a unique personality. In what way? You know, in psychology, one of the most important discussion is discussion about personality. And there are different levels and different forms of personalities. You've got what we call classical personality, traditional personality. Who is a traditional personality? Somebody who follows routine, no change. Same program for the last 20 years. There will be no any change. Same policy for the last 20 years. That's what they call classical or traditional personality. The second form of a personality is what? They call it exceptional personality. It's someone who tries to change one angle or one dimension of his or her life. Maybe intellectual dimension, spiritual dimension, social dimension. The person is not changing everything at the same time, but taking each dimension at a time. The third is unique personality, they call. Who is a unique personality? It's one individual who is made up of different personalities. From the intellectual dimension, very powerful. Social dimension, very powerful. Spiritual dimension, very powerful. You will not bring any dimension and the person is not powerful. And he said a typical example of that personality is Ali ibn Abi Talib. You look at Imam Ali alayhi salam. Amirul Mu'mineen is Wujudul Umami. It's a unique personality. Imam Ali's color is everywhere. You look at the spirituality and his love for Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. He concluded the argument. He said, لو كشف لي الغطاء ما ازددت يقينا. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. على محمد وآل محمد. Allah. Ahsant. So Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam is a unique personality in the sense that he's an individual, but made up of different personalities. First example, you look at the spirituality of Imam Ali, his relationship with the Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. One example I cited, he himself said, لو كشف لي الغطاء ما ازددت يقينا. If you are to remove the veil from my face, it will not increase me in any certainty about Allah. Not only that, one day Imam Zainul Abidin was Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Mullah Rashid.
There is a silver Lexus SO53 FRK. If you own this car, can you please move it? Because it's parked in yeah. If you could please move that car. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali
Ahsant.
Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajal. With the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajal farja. So as I was saying, he's a unique personality. Look at his spirituality and his relationship with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Amirul Mu'mineen Salamullahi alayh is saying that if you are to remove the veil from my face, the removal of that veil will not increase me in certainty when it comes to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And as I was saying again, one day Imam Zainul Abidin was sitting with his beloved son, Imam al-Baqir. And he said to Imam al-Baqir, give me Sahifatu A'mal Ali. Give me the books of the A'mal of Ali. Meaning, let us look at the Ibadah of Ali. They started discussing. All of a sudden, Imam Zain al-Abidin said, Man yakdiru ala ibadika ya Ali. Or ala ibadatika ya Ali. Who is capable of undertaking an act of worship like that of you, Ali, alayhi salam? And as narration mentioned, every single day he would perform 1,000 rakat of salah. So spiritually, Ali has a great personality there. Intellectually, ana madinatul ilmi wa alayyan babo. Knowledge is there. Knowledge of Ali is of different level altogether. To such an extent, he would say to his companions, I wish I have someone to share my knowledge with. I don't see anyone here who has the capability for me to share my knowledge with. And would say to them, Saluni kabla an tafkiduni. Ask me before you lose me. If you do not ask me and I go, you'll not find someone to ask. So when it comes to knowledge, Amirul Mu'mineen has an unbelievable personality. Now look at the justice of Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam. He no doubt embodied divine justice and the justice of Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. You read the biography and the history of Amir al-Mu'mineen, you realize that he administered justice on different levels altogether. Typical example, non-Muslim Christian had an issue with one of the governors of Imam Ali, and he reported the governor to the security, and the governor was taken to court. When they went to court, they asked Imam Ali to come and represent because he was the head of the state. Amirul Mu'mineen entered the court. The judge began to address Ali and began to address that Christian fellow. He addressed the Christian fellow by mentioning his name. When he got to Ali, he said, Ya Abul Hassan. Ya Abul Hassan. Amirul Mu'mineen stood up and he looked at the judge and he said to judge, do not call me by my title. The way you call this person by his name, call me by my name. That is the justice of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. But the governor of Amir al-Mu'mineen lost the case. Just look at the justice of Imam Ali. And Amir al-Mu'mineen accepted it that we've lost the case. There and there, the Christian looked at Ali and he said, I've now understood Islam is the right religion and I've accepted Islam from today. Justice of Ali. So it's not just spirituality or knowledge-wise. Justice Imam Ali is also there. Not only that, we are told in the tradition, one old Christian man used to work for the state and he retired. So he had no money to look after himself. He tried everything. He was unable to look after himself. So what he decided to do, he went and sat in the middle of the road and he began to cry. This old man. Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam was walking with some of his companions and they came across this old man. Imam Ali inquired as to why the old man is sitting on the ground and crying. The old man looked at them and he said to them, I used to work, I'm retired now, and I have nothing to depend on. Imam Ali looked at his companions. He said, I'm going to sit next to this man until you sort him out. He sat there. Said, until you take care of him, I will not move an inch. Hence, they volunteered to take care of Amir al-Mu'mineen. That's the justice of Ali. Imam Ali administered social justice, my dear brothers and sisters. Look at how he handled Talha and Zubair. Just an example. Then we move to the next scholar. Talha and Zubair. When Amir al-Mu'mineen moved to Kufa, Talha and Zubair went to Amir al-Mu'mineen to ask for their share, isn't it? And as you know very well, Imam was close to Zubair than the way he was close to Talha. He was his first cousin. And during Saqifa, as per the traditions, Zubair also stood in defense of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. But what happened afterwards, isn't it? Now they came to Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen. I'm sure some of you heard of this story before, but it's good for our young sons and daughters to share some stories. There was a candle lit. The moment they entered, Amir al-Mu'mineen put off that candle. And he took another candle and he lit it on. Switched on. So they asked him, what's the difference between the two? He said the first one was bought from Baytul Mal, but this second one is from my own money. And I know you are coming for your personal matters and not for the matters of the Ummah. Look at the justice of Ali. Sometimes one person will be sitting in this mosque and the whole light is on. One person sitting and the whole light is on. But Amir said, I cannot use Baytul Mal for your own personal matters. And then they said to Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Azra Sheikh Ayub. Oh, Amo. What? Wa ali wa. Habibi, Habibi. Salawat, salawat. Salli ala. Loud salawat. MashaAllah. Today they happen now. One loud salawat. Allah. Mohammed. Yes, so they went to Amir al-Mu'mineen with their request. First request is that give us our share. We've contributed a lot in Islam, so we are here to give us our share. Remember, my dear brothers and sisters, we trying to demonstrate the justice of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Amir al-Mu'mineen looked at them and said to them, we are all entitled to equal shares. If I take 3 dinar, each one of you take 3 dinar. I will not take more than 3 dinar. And you, Talha and Zubair, will not be allowed to take more than 3 dinar. So wait, when the time is up for all to get our shares, we will get our equal shares. What were their responses? They looked at Amir al-Mu'mineen and they said to him, we contributed immensely towards the growth of Islam. But Amir al-Mu'mineen said to them, is there anyone who contributed more than me? And there are so many examples, really, my dear brothers and sisters, not to digress too much. During the battle of Badr, who can tell me what was the contribution of Imam Ali? Can any one of you tell me? What was the contribution of Imam Ali Habibi? Ahsantum, 35, 36 according to some narrations. He killed 35 according to some 36. Look at the battle of Uhud. La fata illa Ali, wa la sayfa illa dhulfika. That is Uhud. Ya Ali. Again, look at the battle of Khandaq. What did the Holy Prophet say about Imam Ali during the battle of Khandaq? La verse of Ali, come on. You know it, man. You know. Today is Jashin, that's why we're taking it a bit easy, isn't it? Sant. Oh, Shaka, you man. Darbatu Ali in Yoma. Afdalu. Ahsa, mashallah. Afdalu min ibadati sakalay. And again, there's another one also during the battle of Khandaq. What did Rasulullah say? Barazal imanu. Ahsantu. Ahsantu. So, Badr, Ali was there. Uhud, Ali was there. Khandaq, Ali was there. The opening of Khaybar, Imam Ali was there. Laylatul Mabit, Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam was there. He slept where the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa ali used to sleep. So when he said that to Talha and Zubair, they then said to Amirul Mu'mineen, if you are not giving us our shares, no problem. Can you make us governors of both Basra and Kufa respectively? I mean, look at them. He said, I don't trust you in Medina, let alone giving you Basra and Kufa. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Salli ala Muhammad. That's your hometown. I don't trust in your hometown, let alone someone's hometown. But then, of course, they then said to Amir al-Mu'minin, kindly allow us to go for Umrah. Initially, he said no, but eventually he allowed them to go. But you know what happened when they went for Umrah? The battle of Jamal had to take place. So that's the justice of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. So therefore, he's a unique personality when it comes to justice. Likewise, he has a social personality, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. What is his social personality? Because we're trying to discuss what Sheikh Safiyuddin al-Hilli said about Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Social personality in the sense that his love for Allah and his love for Quran and his love for books did not stop him from reaching out to those who were in need. The only one who combined the worship of Allah and social justice is Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Amir al-Mu'mineen, while in Salah, made sure that he gave. What lesson he taught us? That the aim of your Salah is your akhlaq to be perfected. And when your akhlaq is perfected, you are able to reach out to people. Hence, Amirul Mu'mineen, every single night, while people were fast asleep, he would carry sacks of food and go around to distribute among the poor people. Hence, when he left this world, not only people of his house were crying, but even people who did not know it was Ali who was knocking their door every night. They only got to know it was Ali after that. So that's the unique personality of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Look at this fellow Najashi. He got drunk. When he got drunk, Amir al-Mu'mineen administered justice on him or with him. Immediately after that, he left Amir and he headed towards Muawiyah. This narration. When he got to Muawiyah asked him, what happened to you? He said, I ran from the justice of Ali to your injustice. Hey, Allah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ali is Ali. I ran from his justice to your injustice. Another example, Sauda al-Hamdani. This lady used to write poetry for the soldiers of Amir al-Mu'mineen. You know, if today Imams are there, so Mullah Rashid, Mullah Ali Fadil, Mullah Damani, Mullah Imran and the rest, you would be charging them, you know, to go and stand for the sake of Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So this lady used to write for them poetry. But then, of course, Amir al-Mu'minin left this world. So she had some issues with some of the governors of Muawiyah. So she went to complain to Muawiyah. I am here to complain to you. Do something about some of your governors. He looked at her. He said, I'm going to do nothing about it. You know what she said? She said, may Allah bless the man who is buried here. When he was buried with his justice. There's no more justice on earth. Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. Again, look at this lady, Harra, some say Hurra, the daughter of Halima to Sa'adiyah. This lady had an encounter with her judge. You know what she said to her judge? She said to her judge, the Holy Prophet of Islam is higher than Ali. But after Prophet, there is no one who is higher than Ali. But her judge wasn't happy with that. So he looked at her and he asked her, why are you saying so? He said, this is what the Holy Prophet mentioned. You all know the tradition. Man arada an yanzura ila Nuhin fi ilmihi, ila Adam fi ilmihi, wa ila Nuhin fi hikmatihi, wa ila Ibrahim fi hilmi, falyanzur ila Ali ibn Abi Talib. She said to her judge, this is from the Holy Prophet of Islam, that whoever wants to see the knowledge of Adam, you want to see Adam in his knowledge, you want to see Adam demonstrating his knowledge, you want to see Noah in his wisdom, demonstrating his wisdom, you want to see Ibrahim in his patience, demonstrating his patience, you don't have to go around in circle, just look at Ali and you are sorted. Look at Ali, and hence our beloved fifth Imam, Imam Mohammed al-Baqir, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You know what Imam al-Baqir said? He said, in Ali, there are 1,000 sunnahs of the prophets of Allah. 1,000 traditions of the prophets of Allah can be found in Amir al-Mu'minin, alayhi salam. And as you find, Nisa'i, you know, our Sunni brothers, they have 6 books. The last one is Sunan al-Nisa'i. And we are told these books were written during 2nd and 3rd centuries. And Nisa'i departed from this world during the Ghaibat al-Sughra, according to some. And he was killed because of what he wrote about Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. He wrote a book titled Manaqib Ali, the virtues of Ali. In this book, he narrates all those traditions you know. Ali minni wa ana min Ali. We have tradition like that. Likewise, we have Hussein minni wa ana. So we have also Ali minni wa ana min Ali. Ali is from me and I am from Ali. And he narrates also Ali ma al haqqi wal haqqu ma'a Ali. Ali is with the truth and the truth is with Ali. And the one I quoted earlier on, Ali ma al Qur'ani wal Qur'anu ma'a. And then he narrated also, Ana Madinatul Ilmi wa alayyo. When he Haidari. Ya Ali. Ya Ali. Then he went to Sham, Nisai. When he went to Sham, they approached him. Why are you not writing something about the other person, Muawiyah? He said, I went around, I found nothing to write. Sallallahu Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. It sounds like a joke, but that's what is written there, man. Sallallahu Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. It is written there. If you read, you'll find it somewhere there. Eventually, he got killed for writing about Ali. Ibn al-Jawzi, I'm sure you heard of Ibn al-Jawzi. He said, Fadailu Ali sahihatun kathira. He said, the virtues of Ali are true, and there are so many. There are so many of them. And not only him, Sheikh Mohammed Abdul, he also rendered commentaries of Nahj al-Balagha. and the other scholars. They all wrote what they could about Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. My point of this discussion, my dear brothers and sisters, is first and foremost draw my attention and your attentions to the importance of establishing true love for Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. And we need to allow this love to grow. Allow the love to boil in your heart. Allow the love of Ali manifest wherever you may be, and manifest in each and every step of your life. Because we have genuine companions of Amir al-Mu'minin, and they demonstrated their love for Imam Ali throughout their lives. First example is Ibn Sikit. Let's take cues and lessons from how these great personalities demonstrated their love for Amir al-Mu'minin. And they were ready not only spending their time to spend whatever they had in the cause, in the way of Amir al-Mu'minin. Ibn Sikit, enemies got hold of him. You know what they did to him? They placed a knife on his tongue. And they said to him, now talk about Ali. Said to them, remove this and I will still mention Ali. That's the love. This highest level of wilaya, highest level of love. Look at Hijr Ibn Adi al-Kindi. What did they didn't do to torture Hijr Ibn Adi al-Kindi? Because of only the love he had for al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. They dug his grave and they took Hijr to show him, this is your grave. If you do not stop mentioning Ali, you're going to end up here without taking long. He just looked at them and said, I will continue to mention Ali until the rest of my life. Maitham, one of you mentioned Maitham here. Maitham al-Tammar, we all know Maitham al-Tammar. They chained him. They took him on the rooftop. And they asked Maitham, do you have final words? He said, my final words is what? Before I go, I want my children to go. They asked him why? He said, because I do not want my children to die, but with the love for Ali. They placed knife on him. And they said to him, speak about Ali again. He said, Ala uhadithukum an habibi Amir al-Mu'minin. Do you want me to tell you more about my beloved Ali? Look at Umar Ibn Hamad al-Khuzai, one great lover of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. He looked at Ali, said, I love you for the following reasons. First reason, the first to embrace Islam. Second reason, the only to marry Fatima. And the third, just mention Islamic struggle and there is no Ali there. Each and every struggle, I will find you Ali. So these companions of Amir al-Mu'minin, they demonstrated their love. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, what lessons do we learn from Imam Ali? We all have to take something away tonight. And we have to do something about it. He has expectations from us. His lovers, his followers, his Shias. Amir al-Mu'minin expected us to conduct ourselves in a certain way. And he beautifully mentioned Shi'atuna. Al-mutabadhiluna fi wilayatina. First mark or sign of a Shia from the perspective of Amir al-Mu'minin is that they strive, they spend whatever they have in our wilaya. Your knowledge, you've no knowledge, come render the poetry. No, you know how to make niyaz, come and do the niyaz. You know how to give a lecture, come and give the lecture. Don't be stingy when it comes to supporting the mission of Ahl Bayt al-Ismat wa Tahara. Al-mutabadhiluna fi wilayatina. They put whatever they have in the way of our wilaya. It's a message of liberation. It's a universal message. You can go anywhere in the world. You will not find liberating message than the message of Ahl Bayt al-Ismat wa Tahara. Second, Amir al-Mu'minin said, kindly listen to this. I'm almost done. You know what he said? Al-mutahabbuna fi mawaddatina. They love one another in our love, meaning because of our love. I love you, Haji Amir, because of the love of Ahl al-Bayt. You love me because of the love of Ahl al-Bayt. This community is a very diverse community. I think this is the only unique one I've seen in my life. Wallah, this is salawat for yourselves, man. People from different walks of life are here, from different backgrounds, isn't it? But where we are coming from is different ballgame. Now, why are we all here? The love of Muhammad or Ali Muhammad. That's why we are here. So Amir said what? Mutahabbuna fi mawaddatina. They love one another in our mawadda because of our love. Number 3 said what? Al-mutazawiruna fi ihya'i amrina. They visit one another to give life to our affairs. You invite me, I invite you. You invite Mullah, he come here to give life to the affairs of Ahl al-Bayt. You invite our young brother Damani to give life to the affairs of Ahl al-Bayt. Al-mutazawiruna fi ihya'i amrina. Then you know at the end, you know what he said? When they are angered, they don't do injustice. And when they are excited, they don't exceed the limit. But they are what? A source of blessing to anyone they interact with. And they are a source of peace to anyone they are neighbor to. And lastly, they ask him again, Ya Ali, we cannot worship the way you worship. Can we do something? We cannot worship the way you worship. That's true. But is there anything that we can do? He said, yes. He said, فَأَعِينُونِي بِوَرَعٍ وَاجْتِهَادٍ وَعِفَّةٍ وَسَدَادٍ. Allahu Akbar. Said, you cannot worship like Ali. You cannot do charity like Ali. Your knowledge, you can't even dream of that. Getting to the knowledge of Ali. But there are certain things you can do. When you do those things, you'll be in the camp of Ali. Like during that battle, I think it's the battle of Nahrawan. 1-to-1 fight. The enemy began to fight Ali. But his sword got stuck on Zulfikar. He looked at Imam Ali. He said, can you give me my sword back? Amir said, yes, take your sword back. When he gave him the sword, he said, I will kill you, Ali. Ali said, kill me. They said, how on earth am I going to kill you? I want to die alongside you, Ali. So Ali said, فَأَعِينُونِي بِوَرَعٍ. Just assist me with consciousness. Taqwa. Wara higher than taqwa. But that's what it means to begin with. Assist me, you have to be conscious. Don't go about doing things anyhow. Be conscious. Be conscious of the presence and the existence of Allah. A'inuni biwara'in. But not only being conscious, washtihad in effort. You have to make a lot of effort in the way of Allah, in the way of Ahl al-Bayt. Make effort, give life to the affairs of Ahl al-Bayt. Drive from place to place, go, strive, work hard, determine. But not only that, wa'ifra, you have to also assist me by becoming modest. A lady, a gentleman, you have to be modest. The way you talk, the way you eat, the way you dress, you have to be modest. And not only that, the way you talk, you must be charitable in the way you talk. You must be kind in the way you talk. So inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, Mu'minin and Mu'minat, we are lucky and blessed to call Amir al-Mu'minin our Imam. We are really fortunate and we need to be grateful to Allah for this wilaya. But let us keep working harder to ensure that this wilaya grows and it manifests in our lives. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi at-tahirin.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I'd like to thank Sheikh Nuru for the amazing, insightful lecture. Next, inshallah, we will have recitations by Mullah Ali Fadil, Mullah Amar al-Nashid, and by the Tajani brothers. So I've been listening to the Tajani brothers since I was a very young boy. They are amazing reciters, amazing servants of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. So it's a great honor and a privilege to be invited them onto the minbar after Allah salawat on Muhammad and Ali Muhammad.
Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Now, obviously we were invited to the Tajani brothers, and my brother is not a ghost, he's actually a physical human being, so he's not been able to come with us today for unforeseen circumstances. So inshallah, I'll be presenting by myself, and with your help, inshallah, we can turn this into a real mehfil, a real jashan, and really enjoy ourselves. First and foremost, all of those people who are at the back, if you can come forward, come as close to the pulpit, the front as you can. I want to see smiles on faces. I want you guys to get excited. This is a happy time, a time when you're meant to be enjoying yourselves, joining in, and inshallah, that's what we're here for, just to have fun and to celebrate the arrival of our first Imam alayhi salam. Can you have a loud salawat, please? So the first manqabat I'll be reciting is basically one called Nara Haydari. This is one that we've just released last week. And this poetry is about the call that we have. Nara Haydari, you've heard it several times today. The Nara Haydari, and we say, Ya Ali, what is the actual importance of Ya Ali? When did it start? What's the history of it? It wasn't just at the time of Mawla Ali alayhi salam it started. If you look in the history, since the beginning of creation, since the time of Adam, even Adam said Ya Ali. So we are joining in with those people. Nare Haidari, Ya Ali, 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 Ali, Ya Ali. Everybody together. Nare Haidari, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ali, Ya Ali. Nare Haidari, Ya Ali, 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 Ya Ali. Ali ya Ali, लब पे हो नाराई अगर फतह मिलेगी, जालिमों पे तेग अली टूट पड़ेगी, नारे सकर कुफ्र के सीने में लगेगी, फौज अदू खौफ ही से कांप उठेगी, कुल के मददगार अली, अली अली हैदर करार अली, अली अली बरक शरर बार अली, अली अली यज़्द की तलवार अली, अली अली नाराए हैदरी, या अली, 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 Ali, Ya Ali. We're together. Nare Haidari, Ya Ali, یا علی 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 علی یا زندہ اسی سے ہے فقط سارا زمانہ، کرتا ہے نعرہ ہی عطا سب کو ٹھکانہ، لکھا ہے اللہ نے حیدر کا فسانہ، لگتا ہے نعرے سے بلا فصل نشانہ، فخر زمانہ علی 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 فخر زمانہ علی 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 علم خزانہ علی 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 فرد یگانہ علی 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 رب کا ترانہ علی 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 نعرہ حیدری یا علی 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 علی مومن و منصف کی یہی نعرہ ہے پہچان، دین بھی شریعت بھی یہی تقوی و ایمان، جوش و شجاعت کی ہے واللہ یہی شان، اس کا قصیدہ پڑھے دن رات ہی قرآن، شمع امامت علی 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 ناز رسالت علی 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 فخر شجاعت علی 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 حق و صداقت علی 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 نعرہ حیدری یا علی یا علی یا علی یا علی یا علی 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 Tabish, your turn. Nara Haidari. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. So when anybody says Nara Haidari, I just want you to recite in the tune. All right? So who's got the loudest Nara here? Haidari, are we together? Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ali, Ya Ali. رب پہ اسی نعرے پہ ہے خاص عنایت، رب کی اسی نعرے پہ ہے خاص عنایت، علم کی آدم کو ملی یہ صحیح دولت، نوح کو حاصل ہوئی ہے عظمت و حکمت، اس سے ملی ہے خلیل اللہ کو قوت، علم و بلاغت علی 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 فضل و فضیلت علی 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 رمز ولایت علی 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 شان خلافت علی 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 نعرہ حیدری یا علی. Every together. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. Ali, Ya Ali, Ali, Ya. So he's got the second loudest nara in this room. Ya Ali, 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 Ali, Ya Ali. جس نے علم سنگ پہ گاڑا وہ علی ہے، مرحب و انتر کو پچھاڑا وہ علی ہے، جس نے علم سنگ پہ گاڑا وہ علی ہے، مرحب و انتر کو پچھاڑا وہ علی ہے، لمحے میں خیبر کو اکھاڑا وہ علی ہے، امر کو خندق میں لتاڑا وہ علی ہے، آہنی دیوار علی 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 آہنی دیوار علی 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 آہنی دیوار علی 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 حق طرف دار علی 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 فوج کی الغار علی 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 غیب کی للکار علی 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 نعرہ حیدری یا علی علی یا علی یا علی یا علی یا علی یا علی علی یا علی یا علی یا علی نعرہ حیدری یا علی یا علی Ya Ali, Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ali. So when I started, I said all of you have to smile. I see so many frowns and so many people just like, it's like, yeah, all of you have to smile. I know you're reciting along, and I'm sure not all of you recite on the mic, but you're not reciting on the mic. You have to just join in and recite with the loudest voices and with big smiles on your face. So let's do it again. Nare Hadri Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ali, Ya Ali. Every together. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. दर पे वजहुल्लाह के उतरा है सितारा, मुश्किलों आफत में इन्हें सबने पुकारा, शम्स भी पलटा जो हुआ इनका इशारा, सच है मिला इनसे नबूवत को सहारा, इल्म के हैं बाबली, अली अली इल्म के हैं बाबली, अली अली सबके हंसी खाबली, अली अली दिखे आबो ताबली, अली अली एक इनकलाब, अली अली नाराए हैदरी या अली, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya. Everybody join me. Nare Hadri Ya Ali. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. लब पे हो नाराए अगर फतह मिलेगी, जालिमों पे तेग अली टूट पड़ेगी, नारे सकर कुफ्र के सीने में लगेगी, फौज अदू खौफ ही से कांप उठेगी, कुल के मददगार अली, अली अली कुल के मददगार अली, अली अली हैदर करार अली, अली अली बर्क शरर बार अली, अली अली यज़्द की तलवार अली, अली अली नाराए हैदरी या अली, या अली, या अली, या अली, या अली, या अली, अली या अली, या अली, अली या अली, या अली, Ali Ya Ali. Let's have a loud salawat from everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'm glad to see everyone joined in. I'm glad that all of you who are used to Urdu qasidas and manqabats clapped as well, which is not something we usually see, but it's nice that you all joined in. And as as the Sheikh eloquently said, this is a very diverse community. So some of you are used to clapping, some of you are not used to clapping. So I'm glad to see that all of you joined in. So the next one is one that we've recited, I think, before, not in this center, but on the live shows that we did. And I know that you guys love joining in, so you have to join in, all right? So this one is called Bole Dil Haider Bole. Very simple. Ya Ali. Bole Dil Haider Bole just simply means the heart says Ya Ali, Haider, yeah? Bole Dil Haider Bole, Bole Dil. No clapping, please, for this one. No clapping for this one. I know you guys want to get involved, but I'm gonna speed up and I know I saw your hands move. I was like, because in this one I'm gonna speed up and slow down, so I don't want to like go out of sync. Okay. So Every together. بولے دل حیدر بولے بولے دل حیدر بولے ہاں بولے دل حیدر بولے بولے دل حیدر بولے میسم قمبر بوزر سلمان سارا زمانہ بولے 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 دل حیدر بولے ہاں بولے دل حیدر بولے بولے دل حیدر بولے بولے دل حیدر بولے حیدر 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 بولے دل حیدر 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 بولے دل کل ایمان دین کا بانی نور خدا کی ہے یہ جوانی کوئی نہیں ہے اس کا ثانی اللہ یہ کیسا بشر ہے کعبے کا کعبہ گھر ہے میسم قمبر بوزر سلمان سارا زمانہ بولے 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 دل حیدر بولے ہاں بولے دل حیدر بولے بولے دل بولے دل بولے لاؤڈر لاؤڈر بولے دل حیدر 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 بولے دل حیدر بولے دل حیدر حیدر. So first one goes down, second one goes up, all right? حیدر 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 بولے دل حیدر 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 بولے دل حیدر 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 بولے دل حیدر بولے دل جوں ہی بنا پالان کا ممبر من کن تو بولے جوں ہی پیامبر ابر رحمت برسا کھل کر گونجا یہ خم نعرہ حیدر ہے مولا ہمارا میسم قمبر بوزر سلمان سارا زمانہ بولے ہاں بولے 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 دل حیدر بولے بولے دل حیدر بولے ہاں بولے دل بولے دل حیدر بولے ہاں بولے دل حیدر بولے بولے دل حیدر بولے بولے دل حیدر بولے حیدر 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 بولے دل حیدر بولے دل کون مقام راج ہے اس کا مرضی خدا کی تاج ہے اس کا کل تھا اس کا آج ہے اس کا قائم ہے اس کی شاہی کرتا ہے دین پناہی میسم قمبر بوزر سلمان سارا زمانہ بولے 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 دل حیدر بولے ہاں بولے دل حیدر بولے بولے دل بولے دل حیدر بولے ہاں بولے دل حیدر بولے حیدر 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 دل حیدر You gotta get to it. بولے دل Okay, حیدر حیدر بولے دل and just on my left حیدر बोले दिल जिसने अली से की गद्दारी, मौत से उसकी हो गई यारी, इसका दुश्मन, इसका हर दुश्मन है नारी, उसके शजरे में खम है, उस पे लानत हर दम है, मीसम कंबर बूजर सलमान, सारा जमाना बोले, हाँ बोले 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 दिल हैदर बोले, बोले दिल हैदर बोले, हाँ बोले दिल हैदर बोले, बोले दिल हैदर बोले, हैदर हैदर. Just on my right now. बोले दिल मस्जिद मस्जिद गूंजे अजाने, मैदानों में करके कमाले, नारे लगाए सारी जबाने, खंदक से ताबा खैबर गूंजे बस हैदर हैदर, मीसम कंबर बूजर सलमान, सारा जमाना बोले, हाँ बोले 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 दिल हैदर बोले, बोले at the back, just on the benches, बोले दिल हैदर हैदर, बोले दिल हैदर, जब भी इसने तेग चलाई, अहले सितम की शामत आई, ढाई कयामत धूम मचाई, काटे सर 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 सर, कांपे मैदान थर थर थर, मीसम कंबर बूजर सलमान, सारा जमाना बोले, हाँ बोले 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 दिल हैदर बोले, बोले दिल हैदर बोले, हाँ बोले, just the front rows, बोल हैदर 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 हैदर, बोले दिल हैदर हैदर, everyone together, हैदर 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 हैदर, बोले दिल हैदर. MashaAllah, a round of salawat for everyone. Let's end with one Nara Haider together. Make it so loud that the neighbors complain, okay? Okay. Everybody together. Nare! Haidari! 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 For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. And before I make my swift exit, at the beginning, I never thank the organizers. I always do that at the beginning. For some reason, I forgot. So again, I just want to thank the organizers for arranging such an amazing program with such amazing lineup of reciters. May Allah bless you all. And inshallah, inshallah, may Allah take this community from strength to strength. And for all of the organizers and all of the members of this community, can we have a loud salawat?
Can we please have another loud salawat to Muhammad and Ali Muhammad? I'd like to thank Shabir for that beautiful recitation, and I'd like to thank you all for joining in and helping him as well. But I think the highlight was seeing Sheikh Nuru recite in Urdu as well, alhamdulillah. So Sheikh Nuru, you made our day, alhamdulillah, today. We'd like to thank you on behalf of Muslim community of Essex and the organizers. And next, is somebody who's, mashallah, his poetry is, you know, it's outside of the box. And yeah, I haven't seen a poet like him. And it's a great honor and it's a great privilege to invite him on. Mullah Ammar al-Nashid, can we please give him a very welcoming loud salawat?
صلى على محمد وآل محمد. Inshallah, I won't take too much of your time. Nothing new, unfortunately, but inshallah, we have what we've done is inshallah is good enough for you. Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Haidar Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Haidar Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula. Haidar Maula, naturally I will start with the Most High. Naturally I will start with the Most High. Lord of the sea, Lord of the seven skies. Naturally I will start with the Most High. Lord of the seas, Lord of the seven skies. Peace on Mohammed and salutations. Congratulations on this occasion. After Muhammad, who is your master? After Muhammad, who is your master? Ali Ali Maula, Haidar Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Haidar Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Haidar. In Nasibi I have a sincere question. Nasibi, I have a sincere question. Since when was God's choice and election? Nasibi, I have a sincere question. Since when was God's choice and election? From Adam to the best of creation, revelation after revelation. I'm the rejecter, I'm the rejecter, you're the elector. I'm the rejecter, you're the elector. Guess on the Kothar, who's giving water? Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Haidar Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Haidar. Nasibi, I would love to convince you. Nasibi, I would love to convince you, but at the same time, I have one issue. Nasibi, I would love to convince you, but at the same time, I have an issue. When I visit my Mawla Haidar, there's not enough room for me to get through. So I would rather you stick to your Mawla. Let me breathe air next to my Mawla. Ali Ali Mawla, Ali Ali Mawla, Ali Ali Mawla. Haidar Mawla, Ali Ali Mawla, Ali Ali Mawla, Ali Ali Mawla, Haidar. Your enemies, Haidar, never faze me. Your enemies, Haidar, never faze me. But they never ever cease to amaze me. Your enemy, Haidar, never faze me. But they never ever cease to amaze me. They said I worship stones like an idol. They hesitate and they turn suicidal. They cannot understand what I explain. Maybe they have a stone in their membrane. Ali Ali Mawla, Ali Ali Mawla. Ali Ali Mawla, Ali Ali Mawla, Ali Ali Mawla, Haidar. Your enemies, Haidar, never faze me. Your enemies, Haidar, never faze me. But they never ever cease to amaze me. They said I worship stone like an idol. They hesitate and they turn suicidal. They cannot understand when I explain. Maybe they have a stone in their membrane. Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula. Haidar Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula. Haidar Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula. Haidar Maula in the valley. He commanded Musa in the valley. He commanded Musa, enter the valley, but take your shoes off. In the valley, he commanded Musa, enter the valley, but take your shoes off. Maryam came to the house with her Isa. Maryam came to the house with her Isa, but they were kindly denied from a visa. See when Haidar entered the chosen, the Kaaba split like Musa's ocean. Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula. Haidar Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula. Haidar Maula in the valley. He commanded Musa in the valley. He commanded Musa, enter the valley, but take your shoes off. Maryam came to the house with her Isa, but they were kindly denied from a visa. See when Haidar entered the chosen, the Kaaba split like Musa's ocean. Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula. Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula. Haidar Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula, Ali Ali Maula. Haidar Maula, salawat. Inshallah, I conclude with this one. Khadim, 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 may Allah bless you. Never should a ship ever sail without a direction. I mean, captain, sergeant. Never should a ship ever sail without a direction. Captain, sergeant. Knowledge is a poison without the means of reflection. So mention one moment spent in contemplation, weighed more than thousands of prostrations. I bear witness to the one, no questions. But to this there are conditions. I say, but to this there are conditions. Ahmed had said, I'm the city of God's knowledge, Haidar the key. Ahmed had said, I'm the city of God's knowledge, Haidar's the key. Who was born from the light of the Ilah, Ali Mawla. Who was born from the light of the Ilah, Ali Mawla. Who was never ever seen fleeing from a war, Ali Mawla. Who gave us Hussein in Karbala, Ali Mawla. Who lifted the door, Ali Mawla. Who lifted the door, Ali. born from the light of the Ilah. Ali Mawla, he was born from the light of the Ilah. Ali Mawla, he was never ever seen running from the war. Ali Mawla, and he gave us Hussein in Karbala. Ali Mawla, he lifted the door. Ali Mawla, he lifted the door. Ali, justice, kindness, and bravery all gather in here. I said, justice, kindness, and bravery all gather in here. He knows no fear. On the battlefield, shedding blood, in prayer, shedding tears. Sincere, like Aaron, he was unto Moses, to Taha, Ali was the closest. On this day, the heavens have opened, raining down from heaven roses. They be raining down from heaven roses. He killed Marhab just with his eyes, with 3 letters, A-L and I. He killed Marhab just with his eyes, with 3 letters, A-L and I. Who was named a lion by his mother, Ali Mawla, whose knowledge overflows like a river. Ali Mawla, who gave everything while he suffered. Ali Mawla, who lifted the door. Ali Mawla, who lifted the door. Ali, named a lion by his mother, Ali Mawla, and his knowledge overflows like a river. Ali Mawla, he gave everything while he suffered. Ali Mawla, he lifted the door. Ali Mawla, he lifted the door. Ali, never should a ship ever sail without a direction. He is captain, sergeant. Knowledge is a poison without the means of reflection. So mention one moment spent in contemplation weighs more than thousands of prostrations. I bear witness to the one, no questions, but to this there are conditions. I say, but to this there are conditions. Ahmed had said, I'm the city of God's secret. Haidar's the key, who was born from the light of the Ilah. Ali Mawla, who was never ever seen fleeing from a war. Ali Mawla, who was born from the light of the Ilah. Ali Mawla, who was never ever seen fleeing from a war. Ali Mawla, who gave us Hussein in Karbala. Ali Mawla, who lifted the door. Ali Mawla, who lifted the door. Ali, born from the light of the Ilah. Ali Mawla, he was born from the light of the Ilah. Ali Mawla, he was never ever seen running from a war. Ali Mawla, he gave us Hussein in Karbala. Ali Mawla, he lifted the door. 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 Ali Mawla, sallallahu Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
أحسنتم ولا مار أحسنتم. Amazing. على محمد وآل محمد. Let's have a loud الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. على محمد وآل. أحسنتم أحسنتم ولا مار. We've been happy to have you. Now, inshallah, we'd like to welcome someone. No, we'd like to welcome someone who, alhamdulillah, we've had on Instagram He's joined us a few times, but he hasn't had his debut in the center yet. So, inshallah, I'm hearing that he's coming with fire, guys. So you gotta help him with Jawab and so on. And that person is Mullah Ali Fadil. Please welcome him with a loud salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
I'll do this Arab style.
That's right.
برای خوشنودی محمد و آل محمد بلند الصلوات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على خير الأنبياء والمرسلين وحبيبي إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. My distinguished guests, brothers, I'm assuming sisters, scholars and elders within the community. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It does give me great pleasure to be amongst you all. I've had the opportunity for the last hour and a half, 2 hours to take in the experience, and I know what expectations I have of you, inshallah. So, inshallah, you won't let me down. And inshallah, I'd like to kind of really follow on the footsteps or follow on from the lecture of Sheikh Nuru, mashallah. He mentioned a couple of things which were very interesting. First of all, it's the manifestation of love for Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam that we seek, inshallah, today. That ukhwa, the brotherhood that we have all together, inshallah, we can bring it all together through the love of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. They ask me the difference between hellfire and heaven. They ask me the difference between hellfire and heaven. I say between the left and right hands of Abul Hassan. They ask me the difference between hellfire and heaven. I say between the left and right hands of Abul Hassan. They ask me about my Islam as if I don't believe. And they ask me such as if I'm anything but human. They ask me in a way where they demean my existence and expect that I'll stutter and I will answer with caution. They ask me in a way that they know all of the answers. I answer in a way that's more certain than they're certain. I answer them when they ask me why I overpraise him. I answer them when they ask me why I overpraise him, because he was born in the magnet of your prostration. They tell me that my love for him is strictly forbidden. I tell them forgetting his love is an innovation. They tell me that we make him to be something that he's not. I tell them if he's not great, why isn't he forgotten? They call me a disbeliever and a polytheist. I say, call me what you want. My faith is still unshaken. They tell me that my love for him left faith in division. They tell me that my love for him left faith in division. I tell them without his love, there would be no religion. I answer when they tell me that this love has made me mad. I answer when they tell me that this love has made me mad. Then how is it I've used logic to reach this conclusion? They ask me, how is it you believe in such insanity? I say, I never kept quiet when I had a question. They tell me, how can you say that he was meant to be first? They tell me, how can you say that he was meant to be first? I tell them, after 3, he was begged for that position. They say, how can you choose him over those Muhammad loved? I say, when others ran, he gave Muhammad protection. Many. To the poet, many thanks to the poet Nuri Sardar. And by the way, just as a disclaimer, I'm not as gifted as Mullah Ammar that writes his own poetry. I wish I was, but everything in all of these poems is not mine. But I will reference, inshallah, who wrote those poetry. The last couple of lines say, they tell me, how can you say that he was meant to be first? I tell them, after 3, he was begged for that position. They say, how can you choose him over those Muhammad loved? I say, when others ran, he gave Muhammad protection. Yes, I say, when others ran, he gave Muhammad protection. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Okay. With Rajab's moon halfway through its cycle, with Rajab's moon halfway through its cycle, Fatima said the Kaaba she circles. By the pangs of sudden labor, she's encircled the beginnings of Ali, the beginnings of Ali, our leader. Salawat. With the pains of birth for help she prays, and the Kaaba opens for her in praise, whilst the envious eye upon her it prays. The call of Ali soothes her labor. They see her emerge and the Kaaba close. Muhammad receives Ali and holds him close, raises him in his house, and with his wisdom clothes him, bathes him with the fear of his creator. Raised within the house of the holy prophet, from his wisdom first hand Ali he would profit. The belief in God he first professed it. I believe in God, I believe in God and his messenger. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So inshallah, the words of your reply is La fata illa Ali, Ali Mawla. لا فتى إلا علي علي مولى. لا فتى إلا علي علي مولى. Let me hear your voice. لا فتى إلا علي علي مولى. لا فتى إلا علي علي مولى. لا فتى علي مولى. أنا لا فتى إلا علي علي مولى. أنا لا فتى لا فتى لا فتى إلا علي علي مولى. أنا لا فتى إلا علي Ali Maul. Allah, in every heart is a prayer, just as important as air. It comforts every despair. Blessing Ahmed and his air, blessing Ahmed and his air. La fata illa Ali. إلا علي علي مول أنا لا فتى إلا Allah. In the shroud of love I dress, in the shroud of love I dress, on tongues of evil I press, on tongues of evil I press, removing every distress, removing every distress. When Haydar Ali I bless, when Haydar Ali I bless. La fata illa Ali. لا فتى إلا علي علي موت. Everyone أنا لا فتى. Allah, is there a prayer that's greater, ordered by our creator? Left on the moon a crater, left on the moon a crater. The name of Ali Haydar, the name of Ali Haydar. La fata illa Ali, Ali Mawla. When la fata. Your voices, la fata. MashaAllah. الله أنا لا فتى إلا علي علي سر أنا لا فتى إلا علي علي مولا أي لا فتى. Hey, Ali's greatness, Ali's fairness, Ali's braveness, Ali's fearless, Ali's selfless, Ali's priceless, Ali's flawless. Hey, Ali's greatness, Ali's fairness, Ali's braveness, Ali's fearless, Ali's selfless, Ali's priceless, Ali's flawless, Ali's ageless, Ali's endless, Ali's wonder, Ali's grandeur, Ali's better, Ali's Haydar. La fata illa Ali, Ali Mawla. La fata illa Ali. وين أنا لا فتى إلا علي أي لا فتى إلا علي علي مولا. Ali's greatness, Ali's fairness, Ali's braveness, Ali's fearless, Ali's selfless, Ali's priceless, Ali's flawless, Ali's ageless, Ali's endless, Ali's wonder, Ali's grandeur, Ali's better, Ali's Haydar. لا فتى إلا علي علي مولا. أنا لا وين أنا لا You've got more. أنا أي لا فتى إلا علي علي مولا. أي لا فتى. Ay, the song of every morning, I can hear the birds singing. Our Imam, they are praising, sending on him the blessing, sending on him the blessing. La fata illa Ali, Ali Mawla. Ay, la fata illa Ali. Ay, does he know praise the one Mohammed would raise, the one Mohammed would raise to the ground idols he'd raise, to the ground idols he'd raise. In his love our hearts ablaze, in his love our hearts ablaze, in his love our hearts ablaze. La fata illa Ali, Ali Maul. Ana la fata. Arabic لا فتى إلا علي علي مول. أنا أي لا فتى إلا علي علي مول. اي علي آية علي راية علي غاية علي نور وعلي سور وعلي همة علي قمة علي ذمة علي عالي علي غالي علي أول علي تالي علي ليث المجرب علي وشتى المرحب علي بيد المذهب أخو هذه الوصية ومثال العبقرية ومثال العبقرية. أي لا فتى إلا علي علي مولا. أي لا فتى إلا أقل عافته إلا علي علي ما. Ali's greatness, Ali's fairness, Ali's braveness, Ali's fearless, Ali's selfless, Ali's priceless, Ali's flawless, Ali's ageless, Ali's endless, Ali's wonder, Ali's grandeur, Ali's better, Ali's Haydar. لا فتى إلا علي. لا فتى إلا علي علي مولاه لا فتى إلا علي علي مولاه لا فتى إلا علي علي مولاه لا فتى إلا علي. Hey, Ali's greatness, Ali's fairness, Ali's braveness, Ali's Ali's selfless, Ali's priceless, Ali's flawless, Ali's ageless, Ali's endless, Ali's wonder, Ali's grandeur, Ali Badr, Ali's Haydar. لا فتى إلا علي علي مولاه لا فتى إلا لا فتى إلا علي علي اي علي آية وعلي راية وعلي غاية وعلي نور وعلي سور وعلي همة وعلي قمة علي ذمة علي عالي علي غالي علي غالي علي أول علي تالي علي أول علي تالي علي ليث المجرب علي وجنته المرحب علي بيد المذهب أخو هذه وصية مثال العبقرية ومثال العبقرية. لا فتى إلا علي علي مولاه وينه لا فتى إلا علي علي مولاي لا فتى إلا علي one more وينه أي لا فتى إلا أي لا فتى إلا علي مولاي لا فتى إلا Ali's greatness, Ali's fairness, Ali's braveness, Ali's fearless, Ali's selfless, Ali's priceless, Ali's flawless, Ali's ageless, Ali's endless, Ali's wonder, Ali's grandeur, Ali's Badr, Ali's Haydar. Ay, la fata illa Ali. Now all together, mashallah. La fata illa Ali, Ali Mawla. La fata illa Ali. Let me hear your voices. Let the Rasul hear you. La fata. Sheikh Nuru, mashallah, once again, man. Sheikh Nuru once again in his Ya Ali. Sheikh Nuru mentioned that the virtues of Imam Ali alayhi salam is more or less, I'm paraphrasing, sorry Sheikh, but a drop in the ocean. We are trying to do due diligence to Amir al-Mu'mineen is like us, drop ocean, you get it, basically, right? So the poem comes and says, no memory can drop as soft as feathers in a feathery dream, like the memory of your life written on the specks of time. Think about the virtues of Imam Ali. No memory can drop as soft as feathers in a feathery dream, like the memory of your life written on the specks of time, floating to the surface and rising like steam. Virtues can only touch the surface of perfection. Yes, virtues can only touch the surface of perfection and return crying, Ali, Ali is too perfect for me. Virtues can only touch the surface of perfection and return crying, Ali, Ali is too perfect for me. No man can succeed the perfection of Muhammad except a man who was raised by Muhammad perfectly. No man can succeed the perfection of Muhammad except a man who was raised by Muhammad perfectly, for no man can succeed Muhammad except Ali. Ali, Ali. The last, inshallah, segment, we'd like to remember Imam Ali alayhi salam through a very famous recitation that we all know and we all love. And inshallah, likewise, we can raise the roof in this final moments as we remember Ali ibn Abi Talib by saying, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla. Let's bring it low. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla. Is it the same? Sorry, okay, 1 second, sorry, I might have sport it. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, 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 Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali. Louder! Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Jami'an. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali. जश्न है अर्श खुदा पर और खुशहाल है कुल दुनिया दिल मोमिन का शाद है चेहरा मुनकिर का उतरा तेरा रजब आई है तो फिर क्यों कर हो खामोश आज के दिन खुद काबा भी हंस कर देता है सदा अली अली मौला Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, 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 Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, louder, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, 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 Mawla, Ali, Ali. Ali, Mawla, Ali, louder, Ali, 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 Mawla, Ali. When we see the house of our Lord Ali, when we see the crack on that wall, Ali, for the Kaaba was his cradle, Ali, his birth started the chanting of Ali, Ain Lam Ya etched in my blood, Ali. Ain Lam Ya etched in my heart, Ali. These three letters made the three Shaykh Ali. The date of 1-3 in Rajab, the date of 1-3 in Rajab, Ali. His love leads me to 313. Ali, 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 Mawla. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla. حب علي فوز الشيعي غدا فامدد لي في يوم حسابي يدا وانقذني من نار جحيم وهل رمت شفيعا غير إمام الهدى إن صلاتي ثم صيامي إذا
لم يشهد لي حيدر ضاعت صدى. يشهد ربي أن بروحي له حبا دوما قلبي فيه شدا. صير الهادي أنت مرادي علي 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 مولا
علي علي مولا علي علي مولا علي علي مولا علي 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 مولا علي علي مولا علي علي مولا عرش کا گوہر علی علی عرش کا گوہر عرش کا گوہر علی زہرا کا شوہر علی علی زہرا کا شوہر علی حسنین کا بابا علی علی حسنین کا بابا علی علی تو قبر کے باہر جو کر لے تیری قبر کے اندر علی 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 مولا علی علی مولا علی علی مولا علی 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 مولا علي علي مولا علي علي مولا علي 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 مولا علي علي مولا علي علي مولا علي 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 مولا علي علي. Welcome Mullah with your loudest voice. Ali 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 Mola Ali 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 Mola Ali Ali. Imam wants to hear our voice louder. Ali Ali Mola, Ali Ali Mola, Ali Ali Mola.
Ali 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 Mola, Ali Ali Mola, Ali Ali Mola. The doors of Khaybar away like a feather. The doors of Khaybar away like a feather on no one's arm but Ali, Ali. He conquered Khaybar, the Prophet's aider in this and next life, Ali. He conquered Badr, others fled Uhud, who remain loyal, Ali, Ali. He conquered Badr, others fled Uhud, who remain loyal, Ali, 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 Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla. Ali, 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 Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla.
Ali Ali Mawla, Ali Ali. They say I'm crazy for loving Abul Hassan. If you want to cure me, then send me to Najaf. They say I'm crazy for loving Abul Hassan. If you want to cure me, then send me to Najaf. But there is no such cure for loving Mawla Ali. But there is no such cure for loving Mawla Ali. If you don't believe me, go visit during Arba'im. Go visit the holy land of Karbala. Go visit the holy land of Karbala. You will find an endless sea of crazy lovers. Ali Ali Mawla. Ali Ali. They say I'm crazy for loving Abul Hassan. If you want to cure me, then send me to Najaf. They say I'm crazy for loving Abul Hassan. If you want to cure me, then send me to Najaf.
but there is no such cure for loving Mawla Ali. But there is no such cure for loving Mawla Ali. If you don't believe me, go visit during Arba'in. Go visit the holy land of Karbala. Go visit the holy land of Karbala. You will find an endless sea of crazy lovers. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla. Ali, Mawla, Ali.
Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali. Ali, Ali. The Lion of God, the Lion of God, the whole world applauds the Lion of God, the whole world applauds the miracles of Ali. They cut his tongue off, praising his Imam. Still the cut tongue said, Ali, Ali. Oppressed or distressed in a time of need, the heart will cry out, Nadi Ali. Oppressed or distressed in a time of need, the heart will cry out, Nadi Ali, Ali, Ali. Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla, Ali, Ali, Mawla.
We finished. We're done. Right, sit down.
The angels, they asked me, how did you spend your youth? The angels, they asked me, how did you spend your youth? I replied, I spent it searching for the truth. I was confused. Who was the leader after the Nabi? Yes, I was confused. Who was the leader after the Nabi? For how can the Prophet leave without appointing a wasi? They told me, oh man, they told me, oh man, go and search the events of Ghadir, upon which all the Muslims said, yes, all the Muslims said, Bakhin, Bakhin, Bikaya Ali. Wallah, you've not just exceeded my expectations, but you've gone far and beyond, mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. May Mawla Ali, inshallah, bless this gathering, bless this masjid, bless this community, inshallah. And I would be more than happy to do the 1 hour and a half journey to come here again. Just please do let me know whenever there is an opportunity. I am down, I am here. Whatever it is, inshallah. All the best to you guys. Thank you so much for having me. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.